Tocmai ce s-a lansat Skibidi Toilet 70 partea 1. Haideți să vedem, băieți și fete, despre ce este vorba. Mi-ați dat foarte mulți dintre voi mesaj să reacționez. Let's go, are 4 minute. Deci cred că e cel mai lung episod Skibidi Toilet din istorie. Mamă, deja am început cu arme noi. Vă dați seama că după ne uităm și la secrete să vedem care-i treaba. Mamă, uite, bă, până acum nu l-am mai văzut pe ăla. Ce e caracterul ăla, bă, frate, ești nebun? Mamă. Mamă, ce e arma asta? Bă, sunt atât de multe chestii, noi nu-mi dau seama, men. Dar sunt curios ce o să se întâmple, ce că se întâmplă ceva interesant în episodul ăsta. Ăsta, na, îi omoară. Îi distruge, bro, ce omorât, îi distruge. Ok. Mamă. Mamă, frate, bă, deci aici chiar nu știu ce o să fac, ești nebună. În situațiile astea chiar nu știu ce o să facă. Bă, vin ăia, man. Vin militarii Skibidi Toilet sau cum să le spunem. E cam greu aici să faci ceva. Mamă. Poți să le faci ceva? Nu cred. Oh my god, ăsta e mort, nu? Asta înseamnă că e mort. Vin titanii să-i salveze. Aia zic. Bum, a distrus podul. Nu? Sau? Ba, eram sigur. Mamă, ce-au distrus ăștia, băi! Băi, fraților! I-o spart. Nice, totul distrus, nice. Haideți, bă, băi, au venit ăștia 3 fraților, de când sunt ăștia 3 împreună. Nu dai cu ei, ești nebun. 2 cu ei, bro, ești nebun. A zis aici o chestie, o să ne uităm după și o să vedem ce a zis. Mamă, dar ce face ăsta acum? Oh, îl încarcă și pe ăsta, și pe speaker, man. Let's go, mamă. Ia uitați-vă la el. Dă ăștia se pregătesc de o bătaie nebună. Uitați-vă aici, bro. Bro, i-a distrus! Mamă, bă, ce le-a făcut speaker-man-ul, bă, fraților, i-a distrus pe toți, ești nebun. Bă, s-a pișat... Mai treceți peste asta. Ce să mai zic? Ce mai pot eu să zic în momentul de față, fraților? Holy shit, bro. Ia vedeți ce față are ăsta. Ok, am mai zis ceva. Mamă, ce le-au făcut, ești nebun. Cine e ăsta? Băi, ăsta era din episodul, bă, deci de la început DJ Skibidi Toilet, cred că e episodul 5 sau 6. Nu-mi vine să cred, uitați-vă la el cât s-a updatat. Oh my god. Oh my god, asta nu poate să fie bine, nu? Asta în niciun caz nu poate să fie bine. You all will die. Aici am înțeles și eu ce a zis. Nu pot să cred! Bă, nu i-a mers schema lui Titan TV, man. Oh my god. O zis că toți o să moară. Bă, fraților, vreți să-mi spuneți că peste 70 de episoade și-au găsit nașul? Asta încercați să-mi spuneți? Că după 70 de episoade în sfârșit a venit o toaletă care e mai puternică decât toți? Ăla e un astro toilet? Ia stai, să vedem în descriere. Something unexpected happened. Uite, ăsta e nervos, supărat. Ia vedeți. Au venit și fetele. Trebuie să intre înăuntru. Ia uite, ăștia s-au uitat aici. Ăștia în continuare sunt înăuntru, sunt în lift. Mamă, fraților, deci băi. Nu pot să cred că și-o găsit nașul după atâta timp. Mamă, ce s-a întâmplat aici? S-a luat curentul. E alertă. No, no, no. Nu, nu, nu. Iar acum, fraților, haideți să ne uităm la secrete. Avem aici videoclipul de la Dr. Bayo. Hai să vedem.
The episode begins with the cameramen sitting in ambush, and here we see the same inscription that we saw on the leaked frame. And it turns out that it says no smoking. And
No smoking. Ok, bun. Deci asta începe, nici măcar n-am văzut faza asta, fraților. Eram prea șocat. Eram pur și simplu prea șocat să văd ce se întâmplă la început. Și acolo e o cameră unde zice că să nu fie fum, no smoking. Și asta dă un smoke grenade.
And the cameraman decided to treat the toilets with a tasty grenade. And then we see the cameraman with a flamethrower who wants to fry a chicken.
Ia vedeți.
And an interesting fact is that the fire is blue and not the usual yellow one. And after frying the chicken, we see that this is not a toilet base, but it was an ordinary checkpoint, and I also predicted this in the last video. But when the camera turns, we see something shocking, and it's hard to notice. But in this place, we can see the body of a dead man covered in blood, and if you look closely, he is dressed in a military uniform.
Oh my god! Bă, oameni, bă, fraților, pentru prima dată oameni, adică pentru prima dată, n-au mai fost din episoadele 5, 6 la început acolo. Acolo e un militar mort, ăla e un om.
And here my theory is also confirmed that it was a laboratory and a secret base of people.
Mamă, bă, dar asta a zis, fraților, dar na, nu prea am ascultat-o eu. O spus că ăsta înainte era un laborator de oameni și ăștia au venit și omorâ pe toată lumea.
I think that there are people on this base since this body cannot lie here for a long time. And this means that this is a soldier who was able to escape from the toilets perhaps not even long
crede că sunt oameni înăuntru.
ago. But he was caught and killed, and this is an iron fact because if body had been lying for a very long time, it would have decomposed. But I'm sure that this soldier has been lying here not very long, and it seems to me that he escaped from the laboratory at the time when a detachment of agents began to make their way into the laboratory, and all the squads of toilets were chasing the agents.
Ok, fraților, deci ea crede că oamenii în continuare sunt în laborator și că ăla a reușit să scape cumva de acolo. A reușit să scape, dar na, după s-a întâmplat ce s-a întâmplat. Și l-a omorât.
But also write your versions in the comments. Also here we see some kind of funny silver toilet. And also in the center we see a strange cameraman who is in a double suit. As we can see another gold suit under a black cloak. And we also see that the cameramen are running away from this place in horror.
Ăștia fug de aici.
And the cameraman with pistols was unlucky and was hit by a shell.
A murit ăla.
And then we see very fast toilets with rockets on cars. And the similar toilet we saw in episode 61
Ia vezi, acum vin toaletele.
when the speaker woman first appeared. But finally the most epic part begins. And we immediately can notice that today we have a POV Giga-Chad with a huge gun which we saw at the end of episode 69. And here my theory was also confirmed.
Ăsta e POV-ul nostru, fraților. Mamă, vedeți, băi și fete, de-aia trebuie să ne uităm și la videoclipurile astea ca să înțelegem mai bine episoadele.
Since I said that this cameraman and several other agents will fly after the Titans. But just look at how powerful this gun is. It's even better than the one that the speakerman has. And also look at the crazy quality of this laser. It seems to me that Boom found himself an assistant who helps him with the creation of the episode. Because I can't believe that in 10 days he was able to make such a crazy episode for 4 minutes. Anyways,
ea crede că The Fuck Boom are un asistent, bă, și eu cred, pentru că lucrează mai mulți oameni la episoadele astea, nu numai el.
killed all Skibidi toilets that attacked him. And now you can call me crazy, but it seems to me that someone is sitting in this car.
Bă, ia vedeți, cineva e acolo.
It's definitely not Mr. Boom. But maybe it's another soldier, and it looks like the soldiers were running away from the toilets in a car. Since toilets definitely don't drive a car, and this soldier tried to escape and was killed.
Bă, fraților, e bun, acolo e cineva.
But they also killed that man. But maybe he's alive. But I didn't
Poate în viața la.
And he didn't react at all to the fact that there was a fierce battle going on near him. But I hope we'll soon learn more about this. And probably soon we will see people in the series.
Poate o să vedem oameni în serie.
Turned on his jetpack and began to fly closer to this laboratory. And on his way destroy all the
Mama, i-a distrus pe toți, ești nebun?
But it turns out that in this place there is a conveyor belt with toilets. And there are probably hundreds of them there.
Mamă, uitați-vă aici.
The cameraman successfully destroyed the Skibidi helicopter. And then we see the inscription is high voltage.
High voltage.
And it's better to fly away from this place so as not to get burned.
Ok, aici te poți electrocuta.
To dodge the shells, and at the same time kill the toilets. But suddenly a shell hit that place, and it stunned our Giga-Chad. And at this moment we can notice some kind of sign. but I can't make out what's written there.
Acolo e ceva
But you can
semn.
write about it in the comments. And the cameraman decided to destroy
Vine
this
asta,
large
distruge pe
toilet
toată
and
lumea.
began to shoot at it with all his powers.
Logic.
But nothing worked because this toilet has shields. And we have already seen similar technology before, namely in episode 51. There was an initial prototype of this shield, and I want to say that it protects well from damage, but not against titans. And it's also important to note that this mutant has powerful lasers similar to those of the Gmail Titan, and also a couple of powerful missiles. And I already thought that he would destroy Cameraman, but we heard an explosion, and this is our favorite Cameraman Titan, who successfully destroyed a couple of toilets, and we see incredibly powerful lasers from Cameraman's guns. And the cameraman doesn't even care that this toilet is shooting at him. And I want to point out that these are not cool and new guns, but this is precisely
Uitați-vă,
the
bă,
energy that the
fraților, eu am o întrebare. Asta a zis că e foarte mișto acum cameramenul, dar nu sunt chestii noi. Dar el de ce nu își repară mâna?
Titan TV man transferred to him. And this will soon end, and a little later you will see for yourself. And from this toilet, there was only a skull left, just like it was in episode 51.
Uite, i-a rămas doar craniul.
But other toilets also try to attack Cameraman with lasers.
Au încercat alte toilete să-l atace
But he
degeaba.
destroyed them with one precise shot. But another mutant with lasers appeared. And I'm not much shocked by the fact that every toilet now has lasers. Can you imagine how technology has improved during this time?
Da, fraților, toate toaletele au acum lasere. La început numai Gmail avea, acum toți au.
Of course, the agents also do not stand still, and we saw jetpack flamethrowers and cool guns. But it still seems to me that if we do not take into account the Titans, the Alliance will not be able to win this war. But this toilet was destroyed by the sword of the Titan TV man, and then the Titan speaker arrived, and finally all the Titans were assembled, and TV man said something and began to transfer energy to the
Ia să vedem ce a zis ăsta. Come quick. I-a zis să vină aici, vină aproape.
I'm not sure about this, but this phrase makes sense. But if you have other versions, then write about it in the comments. And we see that only now he began to transfer energy to the speaker man, and we see that his body can barely withstand it.
Asta, fraților, a zis și ea, fraților, că în episoadele trecute că poate corpul lui nu e pregătit de o așa mare putere, dar se pare că a fost.
But we also see that his speakers and guns began to glow brightly, and even red sparks are noticeable, and he can barely restrain himself so as not to immediately go on the attack. And then we see a lot of toilets with barrels of acid, and they were clearly prepared for this battle. But they didn't know that the TV man busted the speaker man, and speaker man began to roar like a lion. And he started shooting lasers like from a machine gun.
Ia vedeți, fraților, și aici e marea bătălie de salvat de toți.
And he immediately flew towards the ram.
A intrat peste toți.
It seems to me that he became crazy and uncontrollable after this energy. And probably one more time his body will not withstand this. But in any case, it had to be done. And speaker man, like a flash, flies everywhere and destroys absolutely everyone.
Eu omoră pe toți și acum vine aia mai mult și tot și ea îi omoară.
And then treated him to acid soup. And at this time, the speakerman rushed like crazy across the battlefield. And then we see a familiar moment as the toilet surrounded.
Da, a mai fost odată momentul ăsta, fraților. Asta voiam să zic și eu. Ia să vedem dacă o să mi-l arate.
And they also surrounded the speakerman in episode 58.
Ia vedeți, în episodul 58.
And we can see that these are the same Skibidi toilets with acid that we saw in episode 68.
Ah, sunt astea.
But they were destroyed in 2 seconds after the speakerman turned on his disco. And God, it looks so cool. I still don't believe what Boom was able to do such a
Da, chiar arată foarte cool.
It still seems to me that he has an assistant. And he previously mentioned that the episodes will now be released faster than before. And it would be very cool if the episodes were released every 5 or 6 days. So hit that
că o să fie episoadele postate mai des, Doamne ajută.
After destroying the toilets, the speaker man decided to sit down. And now we see that the color of his speakers and guns is no longer so bright. And this means that he spent all the TV man energy that he received.
Ok, și aici că și-a terminat toată energia, pentru că vedeți acum arată iară normal, înainte avea particule, avea toate alea.
And this is not infinite power.
Și acum se odihnește într-un fel.
And then we see Sue's face of the TV man Titan, and he says 10 out of 10, but we hear strange music. And yes, this is Skibidi DJ from episode 6, and clearly
episodul 6, am zis eu bine, man. Din episodul 6 e asta.
And now he has big cool speakers and also mechanical legs. And he showed his 4 guns like a gangster and wanted to shoot at the Titans. But suddenly another toilet appeared and tore the DJ into pieces. And just look how easily he did it.
Uitați-vă cum l-a omorât pe ăsta și a venit ăsta, ia
And
vedeți.
as always, I was right again, since I said in each of my videos that we will see Astro toilets in episode 70.
Mamă, deci băi, ea a zis, chiar a zis fata asta că Astro toilet sunt șefii acolo și că o să apară.
And their storyline will begin. And this toilet is very similar to the toilet we saw in episode 60, only this one is 100 times stronger, since it was able to tear apart in 5
Asta e cea mai mare toaletă, cred.
the large DJ. We also see that he has lasers and similar mechanical arms like the toilet from episode 60. And we see that he easily deflected cameraman's shots with his claw and threw them back at him. And this is a damn powerful ability. And he also dodged TV Man's shot, and TV Man said something.
Cine naiba crezi că ești?
And from this phrase, it became clear that TV Man was surprised that this toilet was so strong.
Da, deci TV Man, fraților, bă, și-a cam luat-o, adică a fost surprins că toaleta e atât de puternică și pe lângă asta știți că nici măcar nu a ieșit schema.
And for the first time in the history of the series, we hear toilets talking like people.
Nici măcar nu a ieșit schema. You all will die.
And I can't tell you how shocked I am by this. And I'm sure that astro toilets are not an ordinary race of toilets. And there are even much stronger toilets than this one.
Toaletele astea sunt mult mai puternice, fraților, decât toaletele normale. Nu sunt toalete normale. Sunt mai puternice.
But I won't spoil much for you because, as always, I'll make a separate video about this and you will be shocked by what I understood, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss this video. And TV Man tried to attack the astro toilet with his sword. And here we can see how the eyes of the astro toilet turned in that direction, which means that he somehow noticed this blow. Or perhaps he already knew that this would happen. Since he was told about it by the UFO toilet who was watching the Titans in episode 68. But what we see next led me to a greater shock. This damn astro toilet, without any effort, tore off the sword of the Titan TV Man.
Știți, băi, și vede că și a zis că a fost șocată. Și eu am fost șocat, ești nebun, când am văzut cât de simplu a făcut să pară.
And after that, he ran away.
Și după a plecat.
And then we see a stuck sword in TV Man's hand. And after he pulled it out, we see the same emoticon. And I bet that no one expected such crazy events in this episode.
Nimeni nu s-a așteptat la asta.
And we can also notice that for some reason, TV Man's emoticon glows green. Although in episode 44, it was black. And before I thought that it was controlled by Mr. Boom. But now I think it's because damage that he received. But then our favorite trio of beautiful women arrived.
Vin cele trei fantastice.
The speaker woman got 2 katanas that can easily...
Mamă, uitați-vă la speaker. Uitați-vă la camera woman, bro. Mamă.
The TV woman got a jetpack, which was not there before. And the camera woman got 2 new guns on hands. And in general, I'm very glad that we saw this trio here. And then the gigachad points in the direction, and the laboratories and agents flew to the place where
arătat acolo la laboratoare. Acum sunt curios la final.
But in fact, they should rise to the top since the scientist was from above, and the agents chose a safer path, and they go up again.
Ok, deci acum ei se duc în sus, nu în jos, pentru că jos este omul de știință și nu vor să dea față în față cu el. Toaleta de știință. Și aici s-a spart
and then it disappeared completely.
Liftul.
And we see how the cameramen turned on the light on their cameras, and when they turned the cameras on the walls, we see the reflection of another cameraman, and it was in 2 places. First here and then here.
Reflexia altui cameraman? Wow! Wow! Nu știu, n-am văzut asta.
We saw how arguments began in discords about what this is a bug, or whether Defuk Boom added it. And what I say will sound crazy as always, but personally, I think that this is not a bug. And Mr. Boom specifically left this for us. And in fact, this is a simp cameraman who seemed to have died in part 2 of episode 57. And this cameraman was different because of his tie, but to be honest, it's hard to say what kind of tie he has.
Da, deci crede că e simp cameraman, dar nu se știe.
It seems to me that Boom deliberately tried to make it so that we wouldn't notice his tie, and everything wouldn't be so obvious. And I'm 100% sure that this is not a bug due to
asta nu e un bug, n-are cum să fie un bug, mă lași, n-are cum.
That Mr. Boom posted the video on the channel 2 hours before the premiere. And this means that if it was a bug, he would have 2 hours left to fix it. And we all know how Mr. Defuk treats little things and details, and he would not have missed such a moment. And I think that this is a simp cameraman, and perhaps it is he who is knocking on the elevator at the end of the video. But overall, it was the most legendary episode.
A fost cel mai legendar episod, băi și fete, de departe.
The last part will be even better.
De departe.
In any case, I know that you still have a lot of questions.
Faceți-o voi, ce credeți că se va întâmpla? Nici de bun. Bă, fi că îi bântuie fantoma lui Sim, cameraman, nici de bun. Wow, ce tare. Scrieți la comentarii, faceți-o ce credeți că o să se întâmple. Credeți că o să fie o chestie cu astro toilets? Bă, eu sincer asta cred.